Hey everyone, Dude is Jude here back with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel video, and today we're taking a look at the best budget decks that you can play in Master Duel Season 20. So, it's the 20th season of Master Duel, and August also means the World Season, so Master Duel will be having its World Championship alongside TCG and Duel Link, so it's gonna be a really great month for Yu-Gi-Oh! There's also Yu-Gi-Oh! Day for OCG here, so that's pretty cool. But for now, let's take a look at 6 budget decks that are worth crafting, worth buying gems for, and worth building, and worth putting in rank. So let's go with the 6 ones. So if you're new to the game or you just want to make a cheap deck to try out and see, just want to diversify your playstyle and, move on to a different deck, here are 6 pretty good decks that are really cheap and really competitive. So first off, we're gonna go with probably the best budget deck in the game yet, and that is Salamangreat. So if you want a deck that can be competitive across different formats, really cheap, and gives you space for a lot of staples, and will get new support in the future, Salamangreat is the best one. So Salamangreat has been a really good deck for years now. It's the last world champion deck in Paper Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2019. So, this deck can really go. So, it's a really powerful Cybers deck that has a lot of recovery tools. A really powerful starter in Gazelle. Great extenders like Spinny, Falco, and Jack Jaguar. Then you have Baylings that starts your combos. You have Sunlight Wolf that keeps your combos going. Mirage Stallion does that too. And you have really powerful payoffs. You can go Heat Soul and get the game, keep drawing cards each turn. And you can also go for OTK with access code and the help of Update Jammer. So yeah, Salamangreat, all you have to do is buy the 3 Salamangreat structure decks. So that's 1,500 gems. So 500 gems each. Structure deck. So also worth noting for the budget list, this is going to be really, really budget. So the amount of URs here are few. So we're going to include free cards like Monster Reborn or Regeki here. And I also include bundle cards like Ash Blossom, Imperm, Droplet, Lightning Storm, and even Nibiru and Solemn Judgment. So these are really good bundles to go. They're 750 gems each. So if you grind solo, if you grind a bit of rank, you can build this deck and eventually get more crafting materials for important staples. I also included Maxi, even though it's not a bundle card. Crafting at least one gives you an edge. And we're rounding much of the lists here on the video with some budget hand traps, so like DD Crow, Drone Lockbird, really good SR hand traps. You can also include Forbidden Chalice for rare. A really solid negate tool that's very, very cheap if you don't have the budget yet. But yeah, Salamangreat is really good. You can go with 3 Foxy, 3 Gazelle, 3 Spinny, a Falco, 3 Jack Jaguar, and you're pretty much set with the Salamangreat combo here, and you can really go. Signet Mining is part of the Salamangreat structure deck, which is great because it not only allows you to play Salamangreat better and you have a way to search your cards, but also enables you to play more Cybers decks, and investing on those is way easier. You also have Sanctuary and Will of the Salamangreat, so Sanctuary gives you that extra Link summon that's pretty cool. Will of the Salamangreat gives you a special summon from hand or graveyard. Circle is your starter, just your main search card. You have Rage to pop cards. And then you have an Omni Negate and Salamangreat Roar. Then for the extra deck, you have Mirage Stallion that allows you to special summon from deck. You have a Baguska just in case you wanna shut down a pesky board for a while. Salamangreat Baylinks, you West Link 1 for Salamangreat. You have Linguribo for trap decks like Labyrinth and Trap Tricks are really prominent right now. Sunlight Wolf allows you to recover resources and extend a bit more. Splash Mage and Transcode for your OTK line that goes into access code. Heat Leo is pretty good in certain situations, and Heat Soul allows you to control the game by drawing into your hand trap. So if you're looking for a really cheap deck that's very competitive and easy to learn, Salamangreat is the way. And this is gonna get new support soon, so it's way easier to be sold on the idea of investing this because this is really good. Now, next, since you're investing in Salamangreat, we're gonna go into a few more Cybers decks. So, gonna go with Ignister. So, Ignister is a really solid deck, solid budget Cybers deck whose goal is to make a rival Cybers at Ignister, which allows you to have a boss monster that's unaffected by other card effects, hard to remove, and pretty much 6k attack. So you need the kaiju or any other removal, so it's really powerful. But yeah, Ignister is pretty budget, so we're gonna go with the usual hand trap lineup in the last list. Added Cypher Gear Gamma because Gamma kills Ash and Maxi, so that's really good. And there's enough space for 12 hand traps in this deck. Even with like full crafting like Ash and Maxi, you can just go 12, especially with like Imperm. Now we're gonna go with the Ignister engine here. 3 Achichi for your one of your main starters. 3 Pikari, your second starter. Bururu for an extender, and you have Doyon, another extender, and Danmari, which is a cool negate. And Gachiri, another big body for extension plays. 3 Silent Mining from the Salamangreat structure deck, so that's really neat. I put Monster Reborn here because you kind of want extra special summons here to get your Ignister boss play done. And then I put a cheap staple here, Pot of Prosperity, SR. Can search, can excavate and search your cards that you really need. You have 3 I Meet You. So this is another extender. Ignister Island, which also gives you a free special summon if you control no monsters in your main monster zone. And then you have another extender in Fighting Spirit, so that's really cool. And Idol Reborn, which is another monster reborn, so that's really cool. And then for your extra deck, you have Wind Pegasus, which is really good because it allows you to bounce back cards if it's in the graveyard, which it would be there most of the time. Lingurible for trap decks, as I said. Dark Infant, allows you to search Ignister Island. You have the Nightmares, just generic removal, and they're pretty budget because they're SR. Cyber's Wicked, another extender. Update Jammer for the access code play. It can also play Heat Soul and Transcode and Splash Mage. So this is really good because this is also used in Salamangreat, so you can just put much of the parts of your Salamangreat and and buy some Ignister packs and you're good to go. Dark the Dark Charmer for stealing dark monsters, which is pretty common. Dark Templar, which allows you to get into your Arrival Cybers at Ignister, your main boss monster that is just hard to remove and hard to kill. You can go Heat Soul just in case you get negated middle of your combo and still go into your hand traps. But yeah, Ignister is another budget option to go, especially if you're gonna invest in something like Salamangreat and Cybers decks, because this is pretty cheap. And you can splash other engines like Matmech here just to make it way better than it is right now. Next up, we have another cheap Cybers deck, and it's Marincess. One of my favorite decks in Master Duel. Marincess only needs 1, 2, 3, 4 URs in its main core, and you might not even need Abyss Dweller or Zelantis, but I would recommend to have them apart from having the main staples like full Maxi, full Ash, and even Called by and Crossout. But yeah, for URs, basically Marincess only has 2 URs in its archetype, and you only need 2 of those. But it's a really good deck that has the powerful end boss Marincess Aqua Argonaut, which is unaffected, which is hard to remove, kind of like Arrival at Ignister. And also has a free spell negate and bounce from hand. You can bounce a water monster in your field and bounce an opponent's card, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, we're gonna full stack hand traps here. We have lots of hand traps. We're gonna go for the engine. We have 2 Mandarin, which is a great extender when you send this to the graveyard. Marincess Seahorse can kind of do a 1-card combo But the true one card combo is Marincess Blue Tang, which allows you to do Foolish, one Marincess, and that allows you to extend. It also has an Excavate effect. It allows you to add Marincess cards to your hand. If you find one, you're gonna keep your combo going. Pascal is a secondary starter because you can pretty much summon two Marincess monsters on the field. Marincess Spring Girl, another extender that all you need to do is banish one Marincess monster, another extender in Sleepy Maiden, and also protects your cards just in case. You also have Nibiru here for from the free bundle. We're gonna put Pot of Desires here because there's a lot of copies of Marincess cards. Signet Mining, of course. Signet Mining is cyber staple at this point. 3 dive, this becomes an E-Tally or a Monster Reborn depending on your board state, especially with Marincess Battle Ocean open. Because Marincess Battle Ocean is your main field spell that allows you to equip Marincess monsters from your graveyard to the current Marincess monster you have. Then we have Marincess Wave, which is their in-archetype Infinite Impermanence. And then for the extra deck, we have Abyss Dweller to kill graveyard decks, or graveyard effects in general. Marincess Blue Slug, which is your main link one to start with. Marincess Sea Angel searches Marincess spells. Coral Anemone adds 2 more bodies, extends, and allows you to recover resources when it gets sent to the graveyard. Crystal Heart allows you to create pretty much an indestructible, invincible Aqua Argonaut when you use it as material. Marincess Great Bubble Reef, a secondary boss that allows you to pretty much have like a Heat Soul-like monster that draws cards and boosts attack. So keeps the board state, keeps your grind game going. Coral Triangle, its main purpose is to get Marincess Wave. Marbled Rock, also another great extender and recovery tool that allows you to retrieve Marincess cards from the graveyard. Zealantis is like a board wipe, especially with Marincess. Really cool. But yeah, if you're looking for a really cheap deck that's probably rogue tier alongside Salamangreat, I think Marincess is a great contender for that. Next, we have Unchained. So Unchained right now is a going second deck. It's also a good investment like Salamangreat because this deck is gonna get new support soon in the near future. So the strategy is gonna be altered from like OTK. It can have a decent going first strategy. So, but now we're gonna go with the OTK destroy build. So board breakers. We're gonna add more board breakers here. Budget Kaiju, which is good Darga. Have the Lightning Storm from the bundle. You have 3 Dark Hole because it's SR. You have Raigeki, Old School Board Breakers. So you have 3 evenly matched. This is a really crazy card that's SR, so this is great to have in a lot of going second decks. But yeah, let's go to the Unchained engine. 3 Aruha, 3 Rakea, and 3 Sarama because you want to see these. Then you can float into something like Unchained Soul of Disaster, which allows you to link summon your opponent's monster. Unchained Soul, which allows you to pop a card and have a huge 3k beat stick. You have Abomination's Prison, your main search card. You have Escape of the Unchained, which allows you to pop a card on your side of the field and on the opponent's side of the field, which popping your own Unchained monsters triggers their effects, which is really cool. Abominable Chamber allows you to special summon an Unchained monster. You can also pop this to special summon from deck. Really, really cool effect. And that's pretty much it for the Unchained main deck. But for the extra deck, we have 3DD, the Stone King Darius, which is just here for the rare because it's a budget build. We have a Nightmare Phoenix and Cerberus SR. 3 Unchained Soul of Rage, which allows you to link summon an opponent's monster during their turn. Unchained Soul of Anguish, which allows you to link summon an opponent's monster during your turn. And then we have Unchained Abomination, which keeps on popping, which can pop like a max of 2 cards. 2 cards, so if you chain a pop effect from an Unchained monster, it will trigger. You can pop a card in the end phase. It also pops a card, so it pretty much wrecks the board when you have this on field. You also have Topologic Bomber Dragon, which is another way to blow up your monsters in main monster zones. Just summon a monster in the link zone, and you're pretty much gonna blow up your opponent's monster zone. And then, of course, you have access code Talker, just in case you need another big body for OTK. So yeah, Unchained is a pretty good deck. It's not as powerful just yet because the new support is incoming, but if you're gonna invest in this, it's really really cheap and really fun to play. Next up, we have True Draco. So True Draco is arguably the cheapest one here because you can see it doesn't need an extra deck to be good. It doesn't need an extra deck to work. You just need a bunch of floodgates and its main engine, and it will just keep going. So we're gonna go with the budget build here. 3 Majesty Maiden. So all true Draco monsters can be tribute summoned by tributing a continuous spell or trap you control, which triggers their graveyard effects, can pop a card, can pop a spell or trap. Really cool. You have Dynamite, which allows you to just keep your resources, keep adding more continuous traps from your deck. And then Ignis Heat allows you to get continuous spells in your deck. And then Majesty Maiden adds True Draco or True King monster from your deck to hand. So it's pretty cool. Pretty simple play style. It's kind of toxic, but hey, if you're running a flood, if you wanna play something simple, playing Floodgate decks is like one of the best options, especially if you're very new to the game, because it doesn't need too much actions to play. You're pretty much locking your opponent down, and you know, you're trying to just shut down your opponent and give them a really hard time while you win early game. So Draconic Diagram, really powerful field spell. And then you have True Draco Heritage. Your tribute targets Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix. This allows you to recover resources and draw 1 card. Gonna add floodgates like Rivalry of the Warguard, Skill Drain, and Summon Limit. Summon Limit is nasty in the current Master Duel format. So is Monarch's Erupt, which negates all face-up monsters on the field if you have a tribute summon monster, and most of the time you do, so that's really nasty. This is why there's no extra deck, because you have to run this card. And then for the search cards, you have Card of Demise, and then Pot of Duality, which just allows you to extend your plays, get a decent board, keep tributing, which is really cool. True King's Return and True Drake Apocalypse, another card pop when you tribute this, so really cool. So if you wanna go really cheap, you can go with True Draco. You can even run this without hand traps. Just go Floodgates, and that's pretty much no SR, no UR cards, so that you can really do that. And last but not the least, we have Floowandereeze, which is alongside Salamangreat and Marincess, I think, in my opinion, are one of the best budget decks in the game. And right now, I think this is a rogue tier deck in Master Duel, so really good. Floowandereeze is a normal summon archetype, kind of like True Draco, but this one summons a big boss monster with Eaglin, which prevents attack position, which negates the effects of attack position monsters, of special summon monsters, which is crazy. Empen is the main boss here. You also have a great lineup of tribute monsters like Apex Avian, which allows you to have an Omni Negate. You have Rise of the Mega Monarch, which allows you to have a really powerful bounce effect. We're gonna add 2 here just in case. But yeah, for the budget build, we have 3 Robina, your main searcher. Egan, your searcher for the big birds like Empen and Ryza and Avian. Stree allows you to recover resources alongside Tokan. And that's pretty much the engine of that's pretty much the monster engine of Floowandereeze. You have an Omni Negate, you have a bounce card with Ryza, and then Empen searches Floowandereeze spell traps, which allows you to search Dreaming Town, which turns your opponent's turn into your turn. You also have Floowandereeze and the Unexplored Winds, which can tribute a card your opponent controls, which is really nasty. It's not once per turn, if I recall correctly, so that's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's really good. Floowandereeze and the Magnificent Map, one of the best field spells in the game, allows you to Gold Sarcophagus a card, and then gives you an extra normal summon. You have Pot of Prosperity here, 2 Pot of Duality, 3 Pot of Extravagance. This is also a deck that doesn't really care about the extra deck, so you can just add pots that banish just to keep your deck more consistent. You have Jack in the hand, just in case you really want another searcher apart from the pots. I just added here because it's a free slot, so that's decent. But yeah, we can go, you can also have Book of Moon, which is great for this deck. You can Book of Moon your own Floowandereeze monsters to dodge face-up negates, or Book of Moon your opponent's monsters, which prevents them from extending. Floowandereeze in the Advent of Adventure, which allows you to banish and search a Floowandereeze card. It made the deck a bit more expensive, but doesn't matter because it's a really good card and you really want to have it. But yeah, Floowandereeze is arguably, for now, the most powerful budget deck in this, alongside Salamangreat and Marincess. So, if you're looking for a rogue tier deck off the bat, especially if you're new or you just want a new deck that's cheap and really competitive, go with Floowandereeze. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but hey, it's really powerful. And I guess that's it for the budget decks for season 20. And I hope you had a great time learning a lot of the decks here, and I hope you find a budget deck that fits your style here. If you like the video, you can leave a like. You can leave a comment if you have any other budget deck recommendations. That would be cool. You can share this video for so to spread the word of what budget decks people can play. You can also subscribe, which helps the channel grow, and that's awesome. But I guess that's it for today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. And once again, thank you for watching and interacting with this, and that's really cool. So I'll see you in the next one. So bye, guys.